Jayaguru. नाथ मनर बासना मोर नाथ मनर बासना मोर আজি শুভ ক্ষণে পূজা নকরিবি আজি শুভ ক্ষণে পূজা নকরিবি চরণ যুগ তুমার চরণ যুগ তুমার নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর হৃদয় কবাট মুকুলা রাখিছি মন মন্দিরে আসন পাতিছি হৃদয় কবাট মুকুলা রাখিছি মন মন্দিরে আসন পাতিছি বলি দেবী অঙ্গে চন্দন গড়িছি বলি দেবী অঙ্গে চন্দন গড়িছি দয়াময় বিজে কর দয়াময় বিজে কর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর অখালিবি বলি চরণ যুগল ভরি রাখিছি মো নয়নরে জল পখালিবি বলি চরণ যুগল ভরি রাখিছি মো নয়নরে জল গলি ঘে নাইবি বলি গুন্থিছি মো গলি ঘে নাইবি বলি গুন্থিছি মো ভকতি সুমনহার ভকতি সুমনহার নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর দীনবন্ধু বলি ঘুষি চরাচর এদিন ধর্ম মাগি যোড়ি কর দীনবন্ধু বলি ঘুষি চরাচর এদিন ধাম মাগে যোড়ি কর করুণা সাগর বিজে করি আজি করুণা সাগর বিজে করি আজি সেবা মোরা ঘৃণা কর সেবা মোরা ঘৃণা কর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোরা নাথ মনর বাসনা মোরা আজি শুভক্ষণে পূজন করিবি আজি শুভক্ষণে পূজন করিবি আজি শুভক্ষণে পূজন করিবি চরণ যুগ তুমর চরণ যুগ তুমর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর নাথ মনর বাসনা মোর প্রিয়তম আখির দেখা মোর প্রিয়তম আখির দেখা মোর কেতে দূরে তো
ভব বন্ধন মোচন পূজ্যবরম গুণহীনাম শেষ গুণাধিপতি ভবভীরুজনে সততং বরদম প্রণমামি শিব কল্পতরুম প্রণমামি গুরুং শিব কল্পতরুম।
জয়গুরু। এই বিশ্ব সংসার যারা চরণে আশ্রিত, এই বিশ্ব সংসার যারা চরণে আশ্রিত, আশ্রিত মানঙ্ক যেহু বরা ভয় হস্ত সিহি শ্রী গুরু চরণ, আশ্রিত মানঙ্ক যেহু बरा भय हतासिहि श्री गुरु चरण वंदन करुछु आमी दीन भक्त गण सिहि श्री गुरु चरण वंदन करुछु आमी दीन भक्त गण सिहि श्री गुरु चरण परम ब्रह्म रूपरे नित्य विराजिता परम ब्रह्म रूपरे नित्य विराजिता मन बुद्धीन्द्रियर जियते अतीत सिहि श्री गुरु चरण मन बुद्धीन्द्रियर जियते अतीत सिहि श्री गुरु चरण वंदन करुछु आमी दीन भक्त गण सिहि श्री गुरु चरण वंदन करुछु आमी दीन भक्त गण सिहि श्री गुरु चरण ज्ञान प्रेम घन रजे अटन्ति मुराति ज्ञान प्रेम घन रजे अटन्ति मुराति सद्गुरु रूपरे जीवे दियन्ति मुक्ति सिहि श्री गुरु चरण सद्गुरु रूपरे जीवे दियन्ति मुक्ति सिहि श्री गुरु चरण वंदन करुछु आमी दीन भक्त गण सिहि श्री गुरु चरण वंदन करुछु आमी दीन भक्त गण सिहि श्री गुरु चरण
Jayaguru, Nigamadeswa, page 123. The mantra given by Guru is unfailing. I cannot but disclose another fact before you. Many people have the notion that one's life will be spent in happiness and comfort if one takes the shelter of religion. Some of you have the impression that you have taken shelter of a Sadguru and no disease and bereavement of sorrow, torments, or danger and difficulties can come to you. But just think of the mythological age. How much of sorrows and setbacks, torments and humiliations the great souls like Srivastava, Nala and Harishchandra who are remembered in every morning have not suffered even though they have taken the shelter of Dharma. See the behavioral life of the 5 Pandavas. What a colossal miseries and setbacks haven't they endured, even when Sri Krishna, the Lord of the universe, was their close companion. I know when one takes the shelter of the Dharma, the influence of dangers and difficulties increases many folds because it purifies the mind and it makes it transparent. I am your Guru. I have accepted the burden of all your actions in order to give you the liberation. I am the fire, and I have planted the spark of fire in you. One day you will be transformed into fire. The spark of fire is eternal and true. Its power of burning is also unfailing. If the fuel is dry, at once catches fire. But if the fuel is wet, it takes time to catch fire. None of you who have come to me is a dry fuel. You all are wet fuels. No good man comes to me. Only the ignorant and the fallen come to me. I cannot reject anybody because I am Guru. Wait and sit without fear and apprehension. However low and negligible you may be, one day you all be ignited. Nobody will return in despair from my door. However, those who have big hands, like destitute, but do not have the little patience to wait for me, I tell them that they may easily and unhesitatingly go to any other door. But those who want to completely depend on me have to wait in front of my door for lakhs of years. I will fill up their heart and my great gift, with my great gift. Even a lakh of years is nothing in comparison to infinite span of time. I have heard when Mahaprabhu Gauranga, sitting in front on the seat of Vishnu, was offering boons and blessings to devotees on his own accord. His dearest and loving devotee, Mukunda, was shedding tears outside. On finding all sorts of boon being given to all, he sent message by another devotee, tell Lord when I shall have his darshan. Mahaprabhu sent the reply, tell Mukunda, he will get my darshan after crores of births. When Mukunda heard it, he started dancing wildly. With exuberant joy and excitement, he went on saying, then I must find him even after crores of births. To get this assurance that he will get him is no less an achievement. How many of you are so fortunate to get the assistance? I assure you that one day you will be entitled to all the wealth and get everything. Have faith in my words and wait for the arrival of this auspicious day without any fear and anxiety. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru, 991 Sangha Puja session report. Palia, Pratyus, Ajit Bhai and Bisu Bhai. Adhibasa Puja, January 17. The Adhibasa Puja was held at Nigama Smriti Mandir from 6:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. EST. After Stotra Bandhana, Sangha Sevaka Mahapurusha Prasanga was read, followed by Jayaguru Nama Kirtana and closing of Asana. Then first session, January 18. The morning session of the puja started at 7:15 with Pratiksha song by Bhakti Ma and Bani Ma. During that time, all the devotees joined the puja either at Nigama Smriti Mandir or via teleconference. Vijay Bhai performed the Arati, then Suprit Bhai sang the Bandana, Bandai Guru Charana and Stotra Bandana. Lipsita Ma read Shree Shree Guru Gita, verse 50. Brajabhai led the reading of the Parichaya Patra, Sammilani and Bhakta Nivasa Nirmana Prarthana. Vijay Bhai read Sangha Sevaka 23rd year, second part, Bandana, Prarthana and Prarthana Karinka Prati. Then Ajit Bhai invited Shree Shree Thakur Maharaj for Balya Bhoga. After that, he invited Thakur Maharaj, Bhai, Ma and young aspirants to attend the second session of the Sangha Puja. The first session of the Sangha Puja concluded with Jayaguru Nama Kirtana. After the first session, Balya Bhoga was offered to Sri Sri Thakur. Then all Bhai, Ma and young aspirants accepted the prasada. Second session of the puja, January 18, time 9:45 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. The second session of the puja started at 9:45 with Devasis Bhai and Thakuro Bhai singing Abahana, Aso He Parama Sundara, and Kamala Charane Kusuma Anjali, respectively. This was followed by Pranam Gana and opening of the asana. Then Shivani Ma sang the Bandana, He Dayalu, He Darodi, He Chira Sundara. Amitabh Bhai read Nigama Upadesa, Doubtless Faith, followed by Arpita Ma reading minutes of the last Sangha Puja session. Anup Bhai read Nilachali Thakur Nigamananda. Then Nihar Bhai sang the Prarthana song, Charana Tale Sarana Mage. Prabhakar Bhai read Yogi Guru Sadhana Kalpa. Then Braja Bhai led question answer session with the discussion from the Sangha Sevaka that was read in the morning session. Then young aspirant session started with Srija Ma singing Prarthana song, I Seek You, Lord. Fatima led the young aspirant session and took the attendance of the young aspirants. Then Pratyus, Ajit Bhai and Visu Bhai did their Bhava Vinimaya Seva. Ajit Bhai invited Shree Shree Thakur for Madhyana Bhoga and evening puja. Then Saranya, Nihar Bhai, Banima invited Shree Shree Thakur to the next Sangha Puja. After that, Visu Bhai prayed for forgiveness to Shree Shree Thakur, all Bhai, Ma and young aspirants. The second session of the puja concluded with Viday Prarthana sung by Udita Ma, and the asana was closed with Jayaguru Nama Kirtana and Pranam. Vishwajit Bhai took the attendance of all Bhai and Ma present for the Sangha Puja. Then Madhyana Bhoga was offered to Shree Shree Thakur, followed by Prasad Sevana by all devotees. Shree Shree Thakur Charana Srita, Pratyus, Ajit Bhai and Visu Bhai. Jai Guru.
Jayaguru. Shree Thakur Nigamananda, page 272. ସର୍ବଦା ଯେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ ଅବସ୍ଥାନ କରନ୍ତି, ସେହି ସୁରମା କିନ୍ତୁ ଭୁବନ ଭାଇ ପ୍ରଭୃତିଙ୍କ କଥାରେ ପ୍ରତିବାଦ କରିଥିଲେ। ନା, ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ବାହ୍ୟଜ୍ଞାନ ନଥିଲା ଭଳି ମନେ ହେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଅଜ୍ଞାନ ହୋଇଯାଆନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। ତୀକ୍ଷ୍ଣ ଦୃଷ୍ଟିରେ ସର୍ବଦା ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ ରଖିବାରୁ ସୁରମା ତାଙ୍କ ଅଙ୍ଗ ସଞ୍ଚାଳନ ଭାବଭଙ୍ଗୀ ଦେଖି ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ବୁଝିପାରିଥିଲେ ଯେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଜ୍ଞାନ ରହିଛି। ନିଶା ଜୋରରେ ବୁଡ଼ି ରହିଲା ପରି କେଉଁ ଏକ ଭାବରେ ତାଙ୍କର ବାହ୍ୟବୋଧ ଶକ୍ତି ପ୍ରାୟ ଲୋପ ପାଇଛି। ସ୍ୱସ୍ତିର ନିଶ୍ୱାସ ଛାଡ଼ି ମା ଭାବୁଥାନ୍ତି, ଏହା ଆମ ଠାକୁରାଣୀଙ୍କର ଦୟା, ତାହା ନହେଲେ ଠାକୁର ଏଭଳି ଭୀଷଣ ରୋଗ ଯନ୍ତ୍ରଣା ସହ୍ୟ କରନ୍ତେ କିପରି? ଆଉ ପ୍ରଳାପ? ସେ ସମ୍ବନ୍ଧରେ ଗୋଟିଏ ନମୁନା ଦେଉଛି। ଦିନେ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାରେ ଠାକୁର ଉଠି ବସିବାକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା କରି କହିଲେ, ସୁର ମତେ ଟିକେ ଧରି ବସାଇ ଦେ ତ। ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ବିଛଣାରେ ବସିବାକୁ ମା ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କଲେ। ଉଠି ବସି ଦୁଇ ଆଖିପତାକୁ ପ୍ରାଣପଣେ ଟିକିଏ ମେଲାଇ ଧରି ଠାକୁର ମୃଦୁ କଣ୍ଠରେ କହିଲେ, ଘରେ ସେମାନେ କିଏ? ଏତେ ଲୋକ? ମାଙ୍କ ଦେହରେ ଯେପରି କଣ୍ଟା ଫୋଡ଼ି ହୋଇଗଲା। ସେ କି କଥା? ତାଙ୍କ ଛଡ଼ା ତ ଜନପ୍ରାଣୀ କେହି ତ ସେ ଘରେ ନାହାନ୍ତି। ଶୀଘ୍ର ସେ ଏକଥା କହିବାରୁ ଠାକୁର ଯେପରି ବିସ୍ମୟରେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଚାରିଆଡ଼କୁ ଭଲ କରି ଅନାଇବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କଲେ। ତାପରେ ଟିକେ ନିମ୍ନ ସ୍ୱରରେ କହିଲେ, ଘରେ ମତେ କେବେ ହେଲେ ଏକାକୀ ଛାଡ଼ି ଯିବ ନାହିଁ। ହୁଏତ ଭୁବନ ନହେଲେ ତୁମେ କେହି ଜଣେ ରହିବ। ଆଉ ଆଜିଠାରୁ ଯିଏ ଥାଅ ନା କାହିଁକି ମୋ ବିଛଣାକୁ ଛୁଇଁ ବସ। ଏହା ପରଠାରୁ ସେହି ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ହେଲା। କିନ୍ତୁ ଘରେ ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖିବା କଥାଟା ପ୍ରଳାପ ଛଡ଼ା ଆଉ କଣ? ଏହିଭଳି ପଦେ ପଦେ ଅସଲଗ୍ନ କଥା ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ। ମୁଁ ସେତେବେଳେ ଅତି ସାନ, ତଥାପି ମୁଁ ପରିସ୍ଥିତିର ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ବୁଝିପାରୁଥାଏ। ଠାକୁର ଭୁଲ କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି। ଯାହାଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ସତ୍ୟ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ବୋଲି ଭାବେ, ଯେଉଁ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଭୁଲ ହୁଏ, ତାହା କିଭଳି ଭୟାବହ ଅବସ୍ଥା। समग्र गृहरे गोटाए अव्यक्त आतंक और भयर शिहरण। संध्या हेले बयस माने मध्य तुच्छाटारे भय पाती। मने अछि छात निकटरे गोटे काल पेचा राति जाक बोबाउ थाए। कला से कि भयंकर दिन सबु। अथच तल तालारे सेते बेलको 7-8 जन कि ताठारु बेसी लोक उपस्थित होई सारी थांती। नीलामणि भाई, जितेन भाई, नृपेन भाई, प्रज्ञानंद महाराज, जोगेश्वर गांगुली, चंद्रमोहन भाई, सुधीर भाई, भुवन भाई आहुरी केते जण थांती। तथापि भୟରେ काहार देहरु शिहरण छाडु न थाए। घरे सते जेपरि विभीषिका पूरी रहिछि तो ता फଳରେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଶ୍ୱାସରୁଦ୍ଧ ହୋଇ ଆସୁଛି ଏହା ଜଣା ଯାଉଥାଏ। ଡାକ୍ତର ନିୟୋଗୀ ନାମକ ଜଣେ ବାୟୋକେମିକ ଚିକିତ୍ସକ ଖୁବ୍ ଯତ୍ନ ସହକାରେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଚିକିତ୍ସା କରୁଥାନ୍ତି। କ୍ରମେ ଠାକୁର ସୁସ୍ଥ ହେବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ। ସେତେବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କ ମୁଖରୁ ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରଳାପର ଅର୍ଥ ଶୁଣିଲି। ଘର ଭିତରେ ବହୁତ ଦାଢିଆ ପଗଡି ପିନ୍ଧା ଲୋକ ପ୍ରାୟ ସବୁବେଳେ ଆସି ବସନ୍ତି। ସେମାନେ ସେହି ବେଲଘରିଆ ଘରର ବାଡି ବଗିଚାରେ ରହନ୍ତି ଓ ନିକଟରେ କେଉଁ କାରଖାନାରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ରହନ୍ତି। ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ସେମାନେ ମନୁଷ୍ୟ ନୁହନ୍ତି, ଅଶରୀରୀ ପ୍ରାଣୀ। କିନ୍ତୁ ହଠାତ୍ ଦେଖି ପ୍ରଥମେ ଠାକୁର ମଧ୍ୟ ତାହା ଧରିପାରି ନଥିଲେ। ଏଥିପାଇଁ କେତେବେଳେ ବା ସେମାନଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରନ୍ତି। କେବେ ବା କହି ଉଠନ୍ତି, ଘରେ ମାନେ କିଏ? ଘରର ସମସ୍ୟା ଏକଥା ଶୁଣି ପରସ୍ପର ମୁହଁକୁ ଅନାନ୍ତି। ହେ ହରି, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ଅସୁସ୍ଥତା ସମୟରେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଏଭଳି ଭୟ ଲାଗୁଥିଲା। ରୋଗରେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ କାତର ହେବାର ଦେଖି ନାହିଁ ସତ୍ୟ, କିନ୍ତୁ ମନବେଦନାରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କାତର ହେବାର ଦେଖିଛି। ବସନ୍ତ ହେବାର ଦିନେ 2 ଦିନ ପରେ ବୋଧହୁଏ ଦାଦା ମହାଶୟ ଓ ଦିଦିମଣି, ଫଣୀ ବାବୁ ଓ ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ସନ୍ତୋଷ ମା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ଆସିଥିଲେ। ସେତେବେଳକୁ ରୋଗ ଭୟାନକ ଆକାର ଧାରଣ କରିନଥାଏ। ଠାକୁର ଖଟରେ ଶୋଇଥାନ୍ତି। ପରେ ଖଟ ବାହାର କରିଦେଇ ମେଜରେ ବିଛଣା କରିଦିଆଗଲା। ଦିଦିମଣି ଆସି ନିକଟରେ ଠିଆ ହେବା ମାତ୍ରେ ଠାକୁର ଉଚ୍ଚସ୍ୱରରେ ଡାକ ପକାଇଲେ, ସନ୍ତୋଷ ମା, ମୋ ପାଖକୁ ଆ। ବସନ୍ତ ରୋଗୀ ସମ୍ବନ୍ଧରେ ବହୁତ ନିୟମ କାନୁନ ମାନି ଚଳିବାକୁ ହୁଏ। ତା ଭିତରୁ ଗୋଟିଏ ହେଲା ଲାଲ ଶାଢୀ ପିନ୍ଧି ପାନ ଖାଇବା ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ରୋଗୀକୁ ଛୁଇଁବାର ନୁହେଁ। ଦିଦିମଣି ସେଦିନ ଲାଲ ଶାଢୀ ପିନ୍ଧି ଆସିନଥାନ୍ତି, କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଖରେ ପାନ ଥାଏ। ତା ଛଡା ସେହି ଲୁଗା ପିନ୍ଧି ସେ ରାସ୍ତାରେ ତ ଆସିଥାନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ସେ ଆସି ଦୂରରେ ଠିଆ ହୋଇଥିଲେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଠାକୁର ଏଭଳି ବ୍ୟାକୁଳ ଆହ୍ୱାନରେ ତାଙ୍କ ଆଖି ଦୁଇଟି ଅଶ୍ରୁପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ହୋଇଗଲା। ବାବା ବୋଲି କହି ହଠାତ୍ ସେ ଦୌଡ଼ି ଆସିବା ମାତ୍ରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ 2 ହାତରେ କୁଣ୍ଢାଇ ପକାଇ ବାବା ପିଲାଙ୍କ ଭଳି କାନ୍ଦି ଉଠିଲେ। ଅନାଇ ଦେଖିଲି ବାହାରେ ମୁହଁ ତଳୁକୁ କରି ଦାଦା ମହାଶୟ ଦ୍ରୁତ ପଦାଚରଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଘଟଣାଟା କଣ ବୁଝିବାକୁ ବାକି ନଥାଏ। ଏହା ଗୋଟିଏ ନୀରବ ଅଭିମାନର ଅଭିନୟ। ସେଥର ସେ ଜୋର କରି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କ ଘରକୁ ନେଇଯାଇ ନଥିଲେ। ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ସୁଧୀର ଭାଇ ଘରକୁ ଠାକୁର ଆସିଥିଲେ ସିନା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଫଣୀ ଉପରେ ତାଙ୍କ ଅନ୍ତରରେ ଅଭିମାନ ଥାଏ। ଆଖି ପାଣିରେ ସେଇ ଅଭିମାନ ସେଦିନ ଭାସିଗଲା। ସେଦିନର ସେହି ଦୃଶ୍ୟ ଅତ୍ୟନ୍ତ ମଧୁର ବୋଧ ହୋଇଥିଲା। ଏହାପରେ ଦାଦା ମହାଶୟ ହାଉଡାରୁ ପ୍ରାୟ ପ୍ରତିଦିନ ଆସୁଥିଲେ। ଗୃହ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଶେଷ କରି ସମୟ ପାଇଲେ ଦିଦିମଣି ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆସୁଥାନ୍ତି। ଆଉ ମୋର ସାନ ମା, ଢାକାର ନନୀ ମା, କିଛି ଦିନ ପାଇଁ ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ପୁରାପୁରି ରହିଗଲେ। ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଅସୁସ୍ଥତା ଟିକେ ଭଲ ଆଡକୁ ଯାଉଛି ଦେଖି ସେ ହାଉଡା ଫେରିଗଲେ। ନୃପେନ ଭାଇ ଭଲ ହୋମିଓପାଥିକ ଡାକ୍ତର। ସେ ଘରର ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ବସନ୍ତ ପ୍ରତିଷେଧକ ଔଷଧ ଖୁଆଇଲେ। ଫୁଟନୋଟ: ଶେଷ ଆଡକୁ ସେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଚିକିତ୍ସାର ଭାର ନେଇଥିଲେ ବୋଲି ଶୁଣିଛି। ତଥାପି ଚନ୍ଦ୍ରମୋହନ ଭାଇ ଓ ପ୍ରଜ୍ଞାନନ୍ଦ ମହାରାଜଙ୍କୁ ବସନ୍ତ ହେଲା। କିନ୍ତୁ ଦିନ ରାତି ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସଂସ୍ପର୍ଶରେ ରହୁଥିଲେ, ସେହି ଭୁବନ ଭାଇ ଓ ମାଙ୍କର କିଛି ହେଲା ନାହିଁ। ଯାହା ହେଉ, ଠାକୁର ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଆରୋଗ୍ୟ ହେବା ପରେ ପୁନରାୟ ପୌଷ 15 ଦିନ ଭଳି ବେଲଘରିଆର ସେହି ଘରେ ଆନନ୍ଦ ସଭା ବସିଲା। ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାବେଳେ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଭକ୍ତଙ୍କ ସମାରୋହରେ ଘର ପୁରି ଉଠିଲା। ବିଛଣାରେ ବସି ଠାକୁର ତାଙ୍କ ଜୀବନ କାହାଣୀ କହିବାକୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲେ। ଘରର ଗୋଟିଏ କୋଣରେ ମୁଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ରହିଥାଏ। ସେହିଠାରେ ହିଁ ପ୍ରଥମେ ମୁଁ ବାବାଙ୍କ ଶ୍ରୀମୁଖରୁ ତାଙ୍କ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଜୀବନ କଥା ଶୁଣିବାକୁ ପାଇଲି। କେତେବେଳେ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ହବ, ଦିନ ଯାକ ମୋର ସେହି ପ୍ରତୀକ୍ଷାରେ ଅତିବାହିତ ହୁଏ। ଶକ୍ତି ଭାଇଙ୍କ ଲେଖାରୁ ଜାଣିଲି 1339 ସାଲର ଅସୁସ୍ଥତା ସମ୍ବନ୍ଧରେ ଠାକୁର କୁଆଡେ କହିଥିଲେ, ବ୍ୟାଧି ଦୁରନ୍ତ ହେଲେ କଣ ହବ, ଦେଖିଲି ମହାମାୟା ସମସ୍ତ ଦ୍ୱାର ରୁଦ୍ଧ କରି ରଖିଛନ୍ତି, ଯିବାର ଉପାୟ ନାହିଁ। ଆହୁରି କିଛି ଦିନ ରହିବାକୁ ହେବ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଏହି ବସନ୍ତ ରୋଗ ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟକୁ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୂପେ ନଷ୍ଟ କରିଦେଇଥିଲା। 1340 ସାଲର ଗୋଟିଏ ସମୟରେ ସେହି ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ହିଁ କାହ୍ନୁ ମାମୁଁ ଅଶ୍ୱିନୀ ବାବୁଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟମ ପୁତ୍ର ଶ୍ରୀ ବିନୟ ଭୂଷଣ ଦାସଗୁପ୍ତ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ଗୋଟିଏ ଫଟୋ ଉଠାଇଥିଲେ। ସେହି ଫଟୋରେ ମୋ କଥାର ପ୍ରମାଣ ମିଳେ। ବେଲଘରିଆର ସେହି ଘରେ ସେଥର ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଅନେକ ଶିଷ୍ୟଙ୍କୁ ଚିହ୍ନିବାର ସୁଯୋଗ ପାଇଲି। ସେମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ହାଲି ସହରର 3 ଜଣ ଶିଷ୍ୟଙ୍କ କଥା ଉଲ୍ଲେଖଯୋଗ୍ୟ। ଜଣଙ୍କ କଥା ଶୁଣିଛି, ମାତ୍ର ଅନ୍ୟ 2 ଜଣଙ୍କ ସଙ୍ଗରେ ମୋର ଭଲ ରୂପେ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିଗତ ପରିଚୟ ଥିଲା। ପ୍ରଥମେ ହାଲି ସହରର ହରିଧନ ଭାଇଙ୍କ କଥା କହୁଛି। ଏହି ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀ ଦୁହେଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ଦୀକ୍ଷିତ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଶିଷ୍ୟା। ଶୁଣିଛି ଠାକୁର ଆରୋଗ୍ୟ ଲାଭ କରିବା ପରେ ହରିଧନ ଭାଇ ସାକ୍ଷାତ କରିବାକୁ ଆସିଥାନ୍ତି। ବାବା କୌତୁକରେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କଲେ, କି ହରିଧନ, ଏତେ ଦିନ ହେଲା ଦେଖା ନାହିଁ ଯେ? ମୋର ଅସହ୍ୟ କଥା ଶୁଣି କେତେ ଜଣ ଆସିଲେ, ଆଉ ତୁ ଦିନ ହେଲା ଆସିଲୁ ନାହିଁ? ହରିଧନ ଭାଇ ସରଳ ମନରେ କହିଲେ, ଠାକୁର, ସେ ରୋଗଟା ତ ଭଲ ନୁହେଁ, ଭାରି ସଂକ୍ରାମକ, ତେଣୁ ଆସିଲି ନାହିଁ। କହିବାକୁ ହେବ ହରିଧନ ଭାଇ ନିଜ ଗୁରୁଙ୍କୁ ଚିହ୍ନନ୍ତି। କପଟତା ଅପେକ୍ଷା ଅକପଟ ସ୍ୱୀକାରୋକ୍ତି ହିଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ମନମତ ଥିଲା। ସେ ପ୍ରସନ୍ନ ମୁଖରେ କହିଲେ, ଭଲ କରିଛୁ ହରିଧନ, ତୁ ଯେ ମୋ ଆଗରେ ସତ କଥାଟା ଏଭଳି ଅକପଟ ଭାବରେ କହିପାରିଲୁ, ଏଥିରେ ମୁଁ ଆନନ୍ଦିତ। ଠାକୁର ହରିଧନ ଭାଇଙ୍କର କେତେ ପଦ ସରଳ କଥାର ପ୍ରଶଂସା ଅନେକଙ୍କ ଆଗରେ କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଭକ୍ତି ନାମରେ ଛଳନା ବା କପଟତା ତାଙ୍କର ଚକ୍ଷୁଷଳ ଥିଲା। ସେ ବହୁ ସମୟରେ ନିଜର ସରଳତା ହେତୁ ଅନ୍ୟର କପଟତା ଧରି ପାରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଏହି କଥା କହି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ସାବଧାନ କରାଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତି ଯେ ମତେ ଠକିଦେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଫଳଦାତା ଅନ୍ତର୍ଯ୍ୟାମୀ, ତାଙ୍କୁ କେବେ ଠକି ପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। ଠାକୁର ଅସୁସ୍ଥ, ଏହି ସମ୍ବାଦ ପାଇ ବଗୁଡାରୁ ଶକ୍ତି ଭାଇ ପ୍ରଭୃତି ମଧ୍ୟ ଆସିଥିଲେ। ହରପ୍ରସାଦ ଭାଇ ଓ ନଟବର ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ସଙ୍ଗରେ ନେଇ ଶକ୍ତି ଭାଇ ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ପହଞ୍ଚି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରଣାମ କରିବା ପରେ ସେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କଲେ, ଏ କଣ ତୁମମାନେ ଏପରି ଅସମୟରେ? ଶକ୍ତି ଭାଇ କହିଲେ, ଶୁଣିଲି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ଅସୁଖ, ତେଣୁ ତାଙ୍କ କଥା ଶେଷ ନ ହଉଣୁ ଠାକୁର କହି ଉଠିଲେ, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ବୋଧହୁଏ ସୁଖ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ଆସିଛ। ସେଦିନ ଅପରାହ୍ନରେ ବୁଲିଯିବା ସମୟରେ ଠାକୁର ଶକ୍ତି ଭାଇ, ନଟବର ଭାଇ ଓ ହରପ୍ରସାଦ ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ଖୋଜିଲେ। ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଧରି ବାରାକପୁର ଗଙ୍ଗା କୂଳରେ ବୁଲିବାକୁ ଗଲେ। ଗଙ୍ଗା କୂଳରେ ବହୁ ସମୟ ବସି ରହିବା ପରେ ପୁନରାୟ ବେଲଘରିଆକୁ ଲେଉଟି ଆସିଲେ। ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇ ମଧ୍ୟ ହାଲି ସହରର ପିଲା। ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ରାନ୍ଧି ଖୁଆଇବା ଭାର ତାଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ନ୍ୟସ୍ତ ଥିଲା। ସେ ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ହୋଇଥିଲେ ପାକଶାଳର କର୍ତ୍ତା। ଏହି ସରଳ ଚେତା ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ କୁମାରଙ୍କୁ ଠାକୁର ଖୁବ୍ ଭଲ ପାଆନ୍ତି। ପରେ ନିଜ ସେବକ ଭାବରେ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ପୁରୀ ନେଇ ଯାଇଥିଲେ। ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କ ସଙ୍ଗରେ ମୋର ଭାବ ଜମିଥାଏ। ହାଲି ସହରରେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ବହୁ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଭକ୍ତଙ୍କର ବାସ। ଅନ୍ୟତମ ଟ୍ରଷ୍ଟି ନାରାୟଣ ଦାସ ନନ୍ଦୀ ସେହି ସ୍ଥାନର ଲୋକ। ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇ ମଧ୍ୟ ହାଲି ସହରର ଗୋଟିଏ ଭକ୍ତ ପରିବାରର ସନ୍ତାନ। ସେ ଶୈଶବରେ ଅତ୍ୟନ୍ତ ରୁଗୁଣ ଥିଲେ। ବ୍ରହ୍ମଚର୍ଯ୍ୟ ପାଳନ କରି ତାଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ ରହିଲେ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଭଲ ହେବ, ଏହି ଆଶ୍ୱାସନା ଦେଇ ଠାକୁର ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ନିଜ ପାଖରେ ରଖିଥିଲେ। କହିବା ବାଲ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆଶ୍ୱାସନା ମିଥ୍ୟା ହୋଇନାହିଁ। ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ ରହି ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କର ଶାଶୁର ବହୁ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ହୋଇଯାଇଥିଲା, ଅଥଚ ତାଙ୍କ ନିକଟକୁ ଆସି ଗୋଡ ଉପରେ ଗୋଡ ପକାଇ ବସି ରହି କେବଳ ଦୁଧ ଭାତରେ ବଢିଛନ୍ତି, ଏକଥା କହିହେବ ନାହିଁ, କେହି କହିବେ ନାହିଁ। ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ସେ ରନ୍ଧନ ଗୃହର ଭାର ନେଇଥିଲେ, ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ପାଣି କାଢିବା, ବାଟଣା ବଟା, ରାନ୍ଧିବା, ପରିବେଷଣ କରିବା, ଅଧିକାଂଶ ସମୟରେ ବାସନ ମାଜିବା ଇତ୍ୟାଦି ସବୁ କାମ ତାଙ୍କୁ କରିବାକୁ ହେଉଥିଲା। ନିଜ ଘରେ ଏହି ରୁଗୁଣ ପିଲାଟିକୁ ଏତେ ଖଟିବାକୁ ପଡିନଥିଲା। ତଥାପି ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟର ଯେ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ଦେଖାଦେଲା, ତାହା କଣ ପ୍ରସାଦର ଗୁଣ? ପ୍ରସାଦର ଅର୍ଥକୁ ମୁଁ ଲୌକିକ ଅର୍ଥରେ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରୁନାହିଁ। ପ୍ରସାଦ ସେବନର ମହିମା ଅଛି, ଏହା ମୁଁ ଅସ୍ୱୀକାର କରୁନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଚିତ୍ତରେ ପ୍ରସାଦ ଗୁଣ ସଞ୍ଚାରିତ ନ ହେଲେ, ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ପ୍ରସନ୍ନତା ନ ଆସିଲେ, ଦିନରେ 4 ଥର ପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଇଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତାହା ଅନ୍ନ ଧ୍ୱଂସ କରିବା ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଆଉ କିଛି ହୋଇପାରେ ନାହିଁ। ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ମୁଁ ଯେ ପ୍ରସାଦ ସେବନ କରୁଛି, ଏ ବିଷୟରେ ସମନସ୍କତା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ। ଅସଲ କଥା ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ଠାରେ ଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧା ଭକ୍ତି ପ୍ରୟୋଜନ, ତାହେଲେ ଯାଇ ତାଙ୍କର ସାହଚର୍ଯ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କ ଭୁକ୍ତାବଶେଷ ଅମୃତ ପ୍ରସୁ ହୋଇପାରେ। ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ସଂସ୍କାର ହେତୁ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କ ଠାରେ ତାହା ଥିଲା ବୋଲି ମୋର ଅନୁମାନ। ସେ ରାତିଦିନ ପରିଶ୍ରମ କଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ ଥାଇ ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ହୋଇଗଲା। ନାମ ଚିନ୍ତାମଣି ବୋଲି କଥା ଅଛି, ତାହା ଅତି ଗଭୀର କଥା। ମୋ ଚିନ୍ତାର ମଧ୍ୟମଣି ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ନାମ ଚିନ୍ତାମଣି, ନଚେତ ତାହା ପ୍ରୋକ୍ତ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣାସ୍ତୁ କେବଳ, ଅକ୍ଷର ଭିନ୍ନ ଅନ୍ୟ କିଛି ନୁହେଁ। ଏହି ସମୟରେ ଜିତେନ ଭାଇ ହାଲି ସହର ଆଶ୍ରମର ଅଧ୍ୟକ୍ଷ ଥିଲେ। ରନ୍ଧନ ବିଦ୍ୟାରେ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କ ଅପେକ୍ଷା ତାଙ୍କର ନୈପୁଣ୍ୟ ବହୁ ଅଧିକ ଥିଲା, କାରଣ ସେ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କ ବହୁ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆଶ୍ରମ ଜୀବନ ଯାପନ କରି ଆସିଛନ୍ତି। ଠାକୁର ବେଲଘରିଆରେ ଆସି ଅସୁସ୍ଥ ହୋଇ ପଡିବା ମାତ୍ରେ ଜିତେନ ଭାଇ ପାଚକର ଭୂମିକା ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିଥିଲେ ବୋଧହୁଏ। ସେତେବେଳେ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇ ତାଙ୍କ ସହକାରୀ ଥିଲେ। ସେ ପୁନର ହାଲି ସହର ଚାଲିଯିବା ପରେ ସମ୍ଭବତଃ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇ ହତା ଚଟୁ ଧରିଥିଲେ। ଏକଥା ସବୁ ମୋର ମନେ ନାହିଁ, ତଥାପି ଜିତେନ ଭାଇ ଓ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇ ଉଭୟଙ୍କୁ ଯେ ପାକଶାଳାରେ ଦେଖିଛି ତାହା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ମନେ ଅଛି। ଜିତେନ ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ସେହି ପ୍ରଥମ ଥର ଦେଖିଲି, ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ କେବେ ଦେଖିଥିଲି ମଧ୍ୟ ମୋର ମନେ ନାହିଁ। ଜିତେନ ଭାଇ ଓ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖି ଭଲ ଲାଗିବାର କାରଣ ହେଲା ଉଭୟ ସରଳ ଓ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଆନ୍ତରିକ ଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧା ଭକ୍ତି କରନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଓଡିଶାର ଗୁରୁ ଭାଇମାନଙ୍କ ଶୈଶବରୁ ଚିହ୍ନିଛି। ରୂପାଳ ଭାଇ, ଲକ୍ଷ୍ମୀଧର ଭାଇ, ଦୁର୍ଗାଚରଣ ଭାଇ ଏମାନଙ୍କ ଠାରେ ଯେପରି ଭାବ ଦେଖିଥିଲି, ଜିତେନ ଭାଇ ଓ ନୀଳମଣି ଭାଇଙ୍କ ଭାବ ମଧ୍ୟ ତଦ୍ରୂପ। ଏହି ଦୁଇ ଜଣ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆଢୁଆଳରେ ନୃପେନ ଭାଇ ପ୍ରଭୃତିଙ୍କ ପରି ବାବା କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, କଣ ଖାଇବାକୁ ସୁଖ ପାଆନ୍ତି, ଏହା ସବୁ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ ଇଚ୍ଛା କରୁଥିଲେ। ତାଙ୍କ ତୁଳନାରେ ଭୁବନ ଭାଇ କିମ୍ବା ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ମହାରାଜ ମାନେ ଅନ୍ୟ ସ୍ତରର ମନୁଷ୍ୟ ବୋଲି ମନେ ହୁଏ। ସେମାନେ ଟିକେ ବେଶୀ ଗମ୍ଭୀର ଓ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସମ୍ବନ୍ଧରେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଟିକେ ଅଭିଭାବକତ୍ୱର ଅଭାବ। ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଭୟ କରୁଥିଲି। ଏଠାରେ ଜିତେନ ଭାଇ ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଜିତେନ ଭାଇଙ୍କ କଥା ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ପଢିବା।
Jayaguru. I'm going to summarize what Maharaj read in English. Nilachali Thakur Maharaj, page 276. In today's reading, Leelama is narrating interactions between close companions and Thakur during his smallpox infection in Bengali calendar year 1339. While Thakur was seriously ill, Bhuvan Bhai was of opinion that Thakur is occasionally losing consciousness. However, Surama, who used to stay close by Thakur like a shadow, refuted that opinion and used to say, although Thakur is appearing to have lost external senses, but had not lost consciousness. Surama used to say, it must be the blessings of Ma Thakurani, else how is it possible for Thakur to endure so much pain? In that state of delirium, Thakur used to talk which confused everyone. Leelama did paint one such example in those pages. Once Thakur wanted to sit straight, so asked Surama for help. After Thakur was upright, asked slowly, who are these people? So many of them. Surama, in deep fear, felt like something pierced her. There was no one else in that room apart from her and Thakur. Then Thakur looked around the room and said slowly, don't leave me alone. Let someone always stay close to me, touching my bed. From that day onwards, that's what was arranged. Either Bhuvan Bhai or Surama stayed close to Thakur. Leelama was thinking, Thakur is talking out of context, in the state of hallucination. As per Leelama, although she was too young, she was able to understand the gravity of the situation. Even if she accepts Thakur as embodiment of truth, he is possibly stating things incorrectly here. Those few words by Thakur spread fear among everyone, including the elders. She used to recall a black owl hooting the entire night from the rooftop. Even though there are lots of people, including Nilamani Bhai, Jiten Bhai, Nrupen Bhai, Pragyanand Bhai, Jogeshwar Bhai, Chandramohan Bhai, Sudhir Bhai, Bhuvan Bhai in ground floor, they are all petrified, as if there is something suffocating them due to their unknown fears. Dr. Niyogi, a biochemist, was treating Thakur during his infection. Slowly, Thakur was recovering. During that time, Thakur revealed more about what others were thinking about his state of hallucination. Those fellows who used to visit Thakur are entities without human bodies. They were staying nearby, including the graveyard. Thakur at first was not able to understand it due to his health condition. That is why he started talking to them as if they were just other normal people. That was what's scaring everyone around. Although I have not seen any sign of weakness, Leela is saying here, although I have not seen any sign of weakness in physical pain, I have ever seen Thakura during mental agony. 2 days into smallpox, Dada Mahasaya, the Pani Babu, and Didimani Santosh Ma came to visit Thakura. Smallpox had not then spread all over. Thakura was sleeping on the bed. Later, a bed was arranged on the floor. Once Santosh Ma came and stood close, Thakura asked her to come close. Lots of customary restrictions were put while treating smallpox, like someone should not be touching the patient with red cloths while chewing the bitter leaves. She could not ignore those calls from Thakura. When she came close, Thakura held her and started crying like a child. Later, she saw Dada Mahasaya was walking anxiously with head down. It was a mix of love and anger due to the way things played out lately between him and Thakura. However, all that anger melted that day. It was very pleasant to watch how things worked out. Dadamasa used to visit Thakura at Bulgaria regularly from Howrah. Nonima stayed in Bulgaria in a stretch. Later, when Thakura started recovering, she returned back to Howrah. Nupen Bhai was a good homeopathic doctor. He vaccinated everyone against smallpox. Despite that, the Chandraman Bhai and Pragyanan Maharaj were infected. But Bhuban Bhai and Surama, who physically stayed in contact with Thakura, were unharmed. Anyway, after Thakura fully recovered on day 15, Pausa, Anand Sabha returned to Bulgaria. The evening was full of excitement in the presence of full house of devotees and followers. That is the time Lilama got acquainted with a lot of Thakura's devotees in Bulgaria. She noted some prominent devotees here. One of them is Haridan Bhai. When Thakura asked why he was not coming to see him before, Haridan Bhai was very honest and replied without any hesitation that smallpox is extremely contagious. Thakura appreciated that response without any pretense. Hearing Thakura is unwell, Shakti Bhai, and Natavar Bhai and Harprasad Bhai came from Boguda. Thakura took them to the banks of Ganga during an evening walk. Another prominent devotee Lilama had highlighted in her pages was Nilamani Bhai. He was Brahmin by caste and took responsibilities of preparing food. He was very weak during his childhood. Thakura assured him that following the path of brahmacharya and staying with him will improve his health. Later that assurance has been found to be true. Nilamani Bhai used to fetch water, cut vegetables, prepare and serve food, and cleaning dishes and other utensils. Despite doing all these, his health did recover, possibly the potency of prasad when taken with full awareness. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Jayaguru. Dinabandhu mo bandhu hoiba kebe he dinabandhu mo bandhu hoiba kebe kebe mukahibi tume mo bandhava kebe mukahibi tume mo bandhava tume kasa bhave dinabandhu mo bandhu iba kebe
सात पर करी सभी गलेणी साई संगात सात पर करी सभी गलेणी साई संगात केमिति बंचिबी काहात धरिबी केमिति बंचिबी काहात धरिबी दूरे दियन्ति सर्वे दीनबन्धो मो बन्धो होइब केबे दीनबन्धो मो बन्धो होइब केबे। एकुटिया होई पथ पचारे मु एकुटिया होई पथ पचारे मु पचारे किए निजर सात बांक पारी सत मुख फेरे सात बांक पारी सत मुख फेरे सबु दीप शिखा लीबे दीनबन्धो मो बन्धो होइब केबे दीनबन्धो मो बन्धो होइब केबे चारिका मोर भांगित गलाणी चारिकात मोर भांगित गलाणी अबाटे पड़िछि एका अवहेला करी अपसरी गले अवहेला करी अपसरी गले अलोड़ा हेली मुझे बे दीनबन्धो বন্ধু মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে দিন বন্ধু মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে এতে দুঃখ দেখি নীরব রহিছ এতে দুঃখ দেখি নীরব রহিছ কথা কুহ কথা কুহ দূরে পথে ধীরে কহি দিয়া দূরে পথে ধীরে কহি দিয়া মো প্রাণ বান্ধব এবে দিন বন্ধু মো বন্ধু হইব এবে দিন বন্ধু মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে কেবে মু কহিবি তুমে মো বান্ধব কেবে মু কহিবি তুমে মো বান্ধব তুমি কাছা ভবে দিন বন্ধু মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে দিন বন্ধু মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে মো বন্ধু হইব কেবে।
Jayaguru, Jayaguru, page 103. There is no vice in drinking liquor, eating meat, or having sexual relationship. It's the natural inclination of all animals. But withdrawal from such enjoyment produces great result. That means any act emptied of attachment is the best act. Remaining on the path of truth, one may earn money as much as he likes, but he should not be crazy for it. Craze is attachment. Remember that everything belongs to God. We are merely guards for a few hours of indefinite time. Don't put the stamp of mine heavily on son, wife, relatives, friends, money, and other household things. The horrible death is dancing over our head. In the threat of action, this world and material possessions will lie us before. These things also lied from time immemorial. Several people like me, my father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and others focus their attention on this house, these lands, tank, and garden with demonic eyes, and endeavor to embrace these with compelling desire. But they are swept away by the current of time. These matters lie in the inexhaustive store of Him. to whom these belong. I'm only his servant. I have to quit all these the moment the farewell letter of death is received in this world. Just as the servant works in the house of his master and takes more care to preserve and protect the wealth of him, but he of course remembers and knows firmly, I have come to give service as a servant, and all these wealth and property do not belong to me. I have to quit these the moment I get order from the master. We have also to think in that manner. Otherwise, if we develop attachment to wealth and property, we have to roam around the world for a huge length of time in the form of ghost. We should keep such feeling and knowledge regarding our attachment towards wife and children, etc. God has entrusted the responsibility of their protection and maintenance on me. So I am taking care to rear them carefully, The moment I expect from them any future happiness, I have to be burnt in the fire of attachment. Instead of feeling miserable by the death of the son or daughter, one should be happy by thinking, I have got rid of the grave responsibility entrusted by God. Whatever is done for self-satisfaction is the cause of bondage. Whatever is done for the pleasure of God being surrendered to him with love does not yield any attachment or sin like water on the leaf of lotus. Kabiraj Goswami, a very renowned apostle of Bhakti Yoga, has said, the desire for liking of self is called kama. The desire for love of Krishna is called prema. The significance of kama entails self-enjoyment, and the significance of Krishna's joy ensures love exuberant. Whatever is done for satisfaction of one's own senses is called kama, that is lust. Whatever is accomplished for the pleasure of Krishna or God is called prema. If all actions aim at providing happiness to Krishna instead of aiming at self-enjoyment, one will not have to bear the consequences of fruit thereof. Some people get pleasure by doing good to others, so they are benefactors. Some people become happy by giving food to the poor, so they are givers. Some people are delighted in earning name and fame, so they perform havan and observe fasting, etc. The actions of none of them are emptied of desire. All the root lies in the desire for self-satisfaction, because by doing it, I get pleasure, so I do it. Bhagavan is present in the heart of everyone. I work for his happiness, I get joy by giving him service. Therefore, I work for his pleasure. He likes the thing of beauty. Why won't I do anything to marvel my beauty? He likes sandalwood paste and fragrant things. Why won't I use sweet perfume like lavender eau de cologne lotion? He likes the garland of flowers. What is the mistake in wearing gold chain finger ring? His happiness is my happiness. My pleasure is a reflection of the pleasure which is experienced by the rich and the poor, the scholar and the ignorant, the lame and the blind, the patient and the Epicurean when I help them. Where is my separate pleasure? It's called Ishwarananda, that is divine pleasure. Ishwar Ananda, that is divine pleasure. The complete ecstasies which are attained by giving joy and service to God is called prema. The great apostle of the spiritual domain has written, strange and unique is the nature of Gopi Bhava. No intelligence can reach its dream of sublime love. When gopis have Krishna's vision, no desire they have but attain ecstatic realization. Whatever joy Krishna gets by seeing gopis, gopis get crores of times more than Krishna's joys. They have no desire for their own happiness, but their happiness increases. Thus is the paradox. This paradox melts into one nice solution. Krishna's joy is gopis' joy having divine dimension. Gopis had no desire for happiness in seeing Krishna, but they attain immeasurable ecstasies at the sight of Krishna. It's a very mysterious and difficult matter. To experience this bhava is beyond the frontiers of scholarship. The ecstasies which gopis experienced by seeing Krishna were crores of times greater than those of Krishna. How is it? The ecstasies of gopis originate from the ecstasies of Krishna. Gopis become happy when they see that Krishna is happy. It means they have no interest in gratification of their own senses. The happiness of Krishna is their happiness. Oh, what a sweet bhava. That is why Gopi Bhava is so supreme. However, some ghastly, unscrupulous people, without realizing an iota of such pure bhava, make a very ugly explanation of it. Therefore, I was telling that one should be happy in the happiness of all organisms, embodying Krishna. I need not have to be happy because I have done some good work. I'm happy because by my work, the world incarnate God is happy. My happiness lies in the happiness which my wife, children, country, society, and people get by my service. My desire to love all organisms and the entire world is called prema. Taking food, acquisition of strength, preservation of beauty, use of good dress and ornaments are meant for all living beings of the whole world. Whatever is required for any purpose has to be utilized in that purpose. All these have to be done. Otherwise, how can the need of all organisms be accomplished? So much care of body is taken because it will be utilized in the welfare of the world. But the moment the shadow of attachment falls on it, it can no more be called prema. Attachment is kama. Hence, relinquishing the hope of fruit of action, whatever is done, to accomplish joy of God is the best action. Let it be son and family members, material, wealth and prosperity, donation, meditation and havan, all these belong to God. Nothing belongs to me. Just as the servant does all works living in the household of the master but no fruit of it belongs to him, all fruits belong to the master. Similarly, lying in one corner of God's extremely vast house, we are doing his work. Is there any occasion for our sorrows and tears, good and bad, pleasure and pain? If we learn to work with such unattachment, there will be no mark of attachment. But if there is attachment even for a blade of grass, who knows how many births will be spent for emancipation? The supreme yogi, King Bharat, could even renounce the attachment of the entire world, but he had to be reborn many a times due to his attachment for a mere baby deer. That is why I say that do the work with the help of indriyas, that is senses, but see that it produces no yearning for that work and puts no stamp of desire in life. Without future thinking and yearning, one should perform the task with patience whenever it comes before him. The thought of a jiva is futile. Therefore, instead of resorting to any futile thoughts or preparing the garland of hopes, one should perform the assigned task by surrendering himself at the feet of the Supreme Father. भाई
Jayaguru, quickly go through जी संघर्ष को जब पढ़ाओ तुला let me find that, give me a second. इनी आज तो बेसी पढ़ाई पारला नहीं काहे कि ना हमरो प्रार्थनाटा 2 पेज प्रार्थना दिला ताकू पढ़ला समय चली गला एनीवे सो आज आरंभ करछंती जे ये ऊपर निष्काम कर्म ऊपर सोच हमें जीवन धारण करछु कोन पे जीवन धारण करछु जे हमर संचित कर्म क्षय करिया पे जोटा कि प्रारब्ध है कि हम संगे आसुछि सो जो कर्म करि जाउछु तार फल जदि ए जन्म रे भोग न हला से फलटा संचित ही रहला जदि पुनराय जन्म ग्रहण करछि जीव से संचित कर्म रु किछि तार आशा नहीं कि असिता संगे रे तार सेटा प्रारब्ध भाव रे से प्रारब्ध रा भोग कला परे तार पुनी मृत्यु हबो पुनी से जन्म रे जहा कुन कर्म करतो सेटा पुनी संचय रहला एम चलला पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम पुनरपि जननी चठने शयनम पुनि जन्म हो पुनि मरिम चलिबो तो से ताले कर्मक्षय हबो केमती कर्मक्षय मूल उपाय हला जे गुरु निर्देशित निष्काम कर्म से ठाकुर बारंबार कहिसंती से मु जो कामरा देइछि ताकू तुमे बुझो बोली न भाबी करी गुरु प्रदत्त कर्म जो पढ़ाला जो हमरो एथिरे कोथरे जे हमरो जोगी गुरु सेटा भी पढ़ाला जे गोपी माने कृष्ण देखि सुख सुख आनंद अनुभव करथिले सेमति आमे माने यदि ठाकुर काम करी आनंद पाई परिबा ताको बोझोल न नै कि ठाकुर सेबाटे बोझोल न नै कि जे या द्वारा हमर कर्म क्षय हबो इटा जे चिंता करि परिबा ता आ कर्म संचय हेबो नै कर्म संचय न हले जीवासिया बंद हे जीवो गोटे कथा आउ गोटे द्वितीय कथा हूँ तार द्वितीय एडवांटेज हूँ रादर जे गुरु प्रदत्त निष्काम कर्म कले आम चित्त शुद्धि हम चित्त शुद्धि हो गले आम सब सब जिन परिष्कार हो जानी पारे प्रकृत कोटा ठीक कोटा भूल कोटा करवा उचित कोटा न करवा उचित कोटा माने ठाकुरंकर इच्छा कोटा आम मनर प्रेरणा से जिन सब कन्फ्यूज करे आमको जे गोटे जिन इच्छा होची बेले आम ठाकुर दुहाई दे दूचु ये ठाकुर इच्छा है आम इच्छा माने मानिया प्रस्तुत नुह जे आम इच्छा कर न मानिक ठाकुर इच्छा था ठाकुर इच्छा हो गला तेणु चित्त शुद्धि हो गले भ्रमटा चलीज आम जापर जे प्रकृत जे कौटा ठाकुर इच्छा आ कौटा आमर इच्छा आम चापी दौचु ठाकुर ना ठाकुर इच्छा कहीकि चापी दौचु इन आज तो बेसी पढ़ाई पालानी तेणु ये रोचे मुझे क्वेश्चन अच्छी किसी पचारत नहीं से आरंभ कर प्रवृत्ति और निवृत्ति ऊपर आरंभ कर डिस्कसन टाको जे प्रवृत्ति मार्ग कौन निवृत्ति मार्ग कौन आमे मनटा सब निम्नगामी सब माने तल आड़ जाऊँगी तल कौन ऊपर कौन तल माने प्रकृति जो माने आमे जो रूप रस मोह रूप रस गंध ये सब माने मातिक रहीचु सेटा प्रवृत्ति मार्ग तार आम तारी पछे बेसिकली गोड़ीचु आम रूप पछे गोड़ीचु रस पछे गोड़ीचु गंध पछे गोड़ीचु शब्द पछे गोड़ीचु मन ताको एथरू टाणी आनिक भगवत मुखी करवा सेटा निवृत्ति मार्ग आम प्रकृत उद्देश्य संघ आस उद्देश्य से हवा कथा जे आम संघ आसचु ठाकुर जो कहते मनीष हुआ आम गुरु पूजा करुचु संघ विभिन्न सेवा करुचु आम मुख्य उद्देश्य हवा कथा प्रवृत्ति मार्ग किंतु अनफॉर्चुनेटली सॉरी भूल कहली मुख्य उद्देश्य हवा कथा निवृत्ति मार्ग किंतु अनफॉर्चुनेटली आम प्रवृत्ति मार्ग को छाड़ी पारना संगे बहुत थर कही जे आमर प्रसाद पाऊचु किंतु आमर माने लोभ रोची प्रसाद उपर तो प्रसाद ज्ञान प्रसाद पाऊनी जे कथा पड़ता है नाणीमा लिखी ठाकुर निगमानंद से कथा जे प्रकृत प्रसाद ज्ञान के प्रसाद भाव पाँच आमर अवस्था भी से धरतु जड़े भाई परिवेशन कर गोटे गोटे माने आइटम सरीगला मो भागे मो पत्र पड़ा नहीं से आइटमटा ताकू नहीं मन कष्ट होमें कंप्लेन कर दूसु जस्ट गिवन एग्जांपल सब केवल प्रसाद नुहे सबुथ आम अवस्था से जे आमर से जिनस प्रति लोभ रोचे रादर दैन चिंता करिया कथा जे आमर माँ जो कहले इतने आमर प्रसन्नता आसिया कथा प्रसन्नता न आसिक आम ये रूप रस खाद्य लोभ इन दिस एग्जांपल खाद्य लोभ तार पछे गोड़ेलु से कौन हो ना बेसी बंधन पड़ुचु बंधन दशा आम उपस्थित हो टाइम रहा will have a प्रार्थना संगीत by प्रायुषी if you are ready please start singing
जयगुरु हसरे कुकुता झरे जा गधरु आशीषर धारा परसी जाए जा श्री कररु सेही मो ठाकुर सेही मोर गुरु सेही मो ठाकुर सेही मोर गुरु सेही मो निगम कलपतरु हसरे कुकुता झरे जा रंग अधरु नयन जुगल सविता सुशांक ज्योतिराशि जलसई शिमुख सुषमा नाही तो उपमा पलक न पड़िछाही फूल ठुक मोर चरणु सदा झरे अमृत ଅମୃତ ପାନେ ଭଗତ ମନସା ହୁଏ ତୃପତ ସେହି ମୋର ତ ସେହି ମୋର ତାତ ସେହି ମୋର ତ ସେହି ମୋର ତାତ ସେହି ମୋ ପୂଜନ ବାଲ୍ୟ କାଳରୁ ହସରେ ହସରେ ମୁକୁତା ଝରେ ଯା ରଙ୍ଗଧରୁ ପୀଡ଼ା ଜିଣା ସ୍ୱର ଶୁଭେ ବାର ବାର ପରାଡ଼େ ପୁଲକ ଜାଗଇ ସେ ମଧୁର ବାଣୀ ମନ ନିଏ କିଣି ଜନମ ମରଣ ଫୁଲଇ ଚରଣ ଯାହାର ବିରାଞ୍ଚି ବଞ୍ଚିତ ନିଗମ ସୁଧା ତାପିତ ହୃଦয়ে ସୁଶୀତଳ ବାରି ସିଞ୍ଚିବ ସୁଧା ସେହି ମୋର ପ୍ରିୟ ସେହି ମୋ ହୃଦୟ ସେହି ମୋର ପ୍ରିୟ ସେହି ମୋ ହୃଦୟ ସେହି ମୋ ପରମ ଆରାଧ୍ୟ ଗୁରୁ ହସରେ ହସରେ ମୁକୁତା ଝରେ ଯା ରଙ୍ଗ ଧରୁ ହସରେ ହସରେ ମୁକୁତା ଝରେ ଯା ରଙ୍ଗ ଧରୁ ହସରେ ହସରେ ମୁକୁତା ଝରେ ଯା ରଙ୍ଗ ଧରୁ Jayaguru.
Jayaguru young aspirants, this is Bhakti Ma, and I'll be moderating our YA session today. I hope you're all doing well. Let's get started with attendance, and then we'll move on to song meaning and then the rest of the session. Aditi?
Jayaguru si Aditi ji join karibani.
Okay, Jayaguru. Adhibasa? Aishi?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Anik?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Anj?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Anshul? Arnav?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Aryan? Ashita?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Jamu? Divyam? Timmy?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Jagrat?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Nitik?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Nivriti?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Pratisha? Pratish?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Raishi?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Sanvi?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Sharanya?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Saraswat?
Jayaguru, he's not here today.
Okay. Thank you, Sharanya. Jayaguru. Charlos?
Jayaguru Ma.
Jayaguru. Sarthak? Bobby?
Jayaguru.
Shilpi? Oh, Jayaguru Bobby. Good to have you. Shilpi? Shreyasi?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Jimmy?
Jayaguru Ma. Jimmy sick.
Okay. Jayaguru Ma. Jayaguru. Simran?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru Shuja?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru Suhani?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru Yukta?
Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Is there anyone I missed in attendance?
Jayaguru, this is Aryan.
Okay, Jayaguru Aryan, good to have you. And who else?
Jayaguru, this is Jamu.
Jayaguru Jamu, good to also have you. Great. So now that we're done with attendance, Paraishi, can you please explain the meaning of the song that you just sang?
Jayaguru, sure. This song describes the beauty of our beloved Thakura, describing his beautiful smile, lotus feet, the nectar-like spiritual joy that devotees receive, the blessings he showers, and his role as the ultimate guide and source of spiritual fulfillment. The song also expresses gratitude, surrender, and the unwavering devotion that we carry with us every day from childhood. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru, thank you for explaining that so well, Paraishi. There's a lot in that that we always focus on, like the form of what Thakura means to us, the devotion we show to him, and then surrender at the end. So we'll be talking about Bhakti Yoga today. I just want to start kind of widely. What comes to your mind when you hear the word Bhakti or devotion? Let's first hear from Ansh.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So what first comes to your mind when you hear the word devotion or bhakti?
Jayaguru, I just think like it's all about having an immense amount of love for, God or Thakura, and really being able to surrender yourself and incorporating him in all aspects of your life, because he is like your main goal, Jayaguru.
Jayaguru, I think that's really well said. That's a really good definition. And Shree Shree Thakur has advised us as his devotees to follow this path of synthesis, to follow the path of jnana and bhakti. So to have that spiritual understanding and then live the life of love and devotion. And he has said that he wants us to accept the spiritual theories of Shankara and follow the path of Gauranga. And in his book Premika Guru, this focuses on the philosophy and practice of devotion and bhakti. And in there, he defines bhakti as the supreme love for Parameshwar is called bhakti. That which attracts the compassion of God and fulfills all desires is termed bhakti. In simple words, bhakti means absolute love for Bhagavan. So it is something that is expressed through our thoughts and actions and our feelings, and that's something we will be talking about today. And to guide our discussion, we'll be reading an article from Saraswati Madhuri from a few years ago. And as you all know, this is our annual publication from our Sangha that's published during Samlani. And now's the time, if you have any ideas for articles or any thoughts, you can submit that as an article for publication for this year. So I shared the reading by email yesterday, so you all can follow along. And Pratish, would you like to start reading when you're ready?
Okay. Bhakti Yoga, some thoughts. Bhakti is fundamentally our deep unconditional love for Shree Shree Thakur. It's the yearning to experience love in its purest and highest form and to unite with the eternal and unchanging. Bhakti Yoga is a path of devotion leading to salvation. It is a form of spiritual practice that soothes the mind by learning about the glories and divine acts of Shree Shree Thakur. Bhakti Yoga is one of the quickest and likely easiest ways to self-realization, especially since it doesn't involve any arduous spiritual practices or stringent disciplines. This path enables devotees to use all of their senses, feelings, and actions to express love in daily interactions and offer them the form of God that aligns with their cultural background and personality. Bhakti Yoga places greater emphasis on acts of worship, devotion, and service. To Navada Bhakti, the 9 forms of devotion. There are 9 ways that inspire us to express our love for Shree Shree Thakur and to stay connected with him. These are popularly known as Navala Bhakti, Shravana, Kirtana, Smarna, Padasevana, Archana, Bandhana, Dasya, Sakhya, and Atmanivedana. There are many examples of these methods in Hindu scriptures. Shravana. Shravana is listening. It is developing a desire to hear the various names, forms, characters, and actions of God. By listening to the tales and glories of God, a person can transform to a better human being. To listen properly, one needs to have faith in the words heard. One example of this is in the premise of the Bhagavata. During the last 7 days of his life, King Parikshit listened to the Sukdev narrate the divine tales of Lord Krishna and achieved salvation. Kirtana. Kirtana is singing and chanting the names and glories of God. One can do kirtans with musical instruments and dancing. This lifts and purifies the soul. Japa is a recitation of a mantra. For us, this is Jayaguru. This has a profound positive effect on our minds by weakening negative thought patterns. Practicing japa relieves worries and concerns by connecting with God and helps guide oneself towards spiritual awareness. The divine sage Narada exemplifies kirtana, traveling all around the world chanting God's name. Smarna. Smarna is the constant remembrance of God and his forms, names, and qualities. This is achieved by recognizing God in everything, everywhere, and keeping him in one's thoughts. It's important to always remember God because the mind tends to fixate on whatever it thinks about. Therefore, thinking about material objects causes the mind to become very attached to those very objects. While constantly remembering God results in one becoming more connected with him. Even when Prahlad faced numerous obstacles from his demon father Hiranyakashipu, he constantly remembered Lord Vishnu all the time and saw him everywhere. When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad if his Lord Vishnu was in the nearby pillar, he confirmed, causing Hiranyakashipu to break open the pillar. Lord Narasimha, an avatar of Lord Vishnu, emerged and defeated the demon. Padasevana. Padasevana is the worship of the lotus feet of God, often expressed through washing and touching the feet of the deity. This gesture is a powerful symbol of humility. Padasevana extends to serving the whole world as God by selflessly aiding those in need, including engaging in volunteer work and serving the sick and poor. In the celestial realm of Vaikuntha, Goddess Lakshmi directly serves the feet of Lord Vishnu. Archana. Archana is the worship of God through rituals. This typically involves venerating a murti, a physical embodiment of the divine. A quintessential expression of this is a Shodashopachara Puja, a traditional Hindu ritual that comprises of 16 specific offerings and services to the deity. This puja begins with a heartfelt invitation to the deity, followed by the offering of a seat, washing the deity's feet and hands. It continues with bathing, dressing, and adorning the deity with sacred threads and ornaments. This ritual further includes the offerings of fragrances, flowers, incense, and dipa, culminating in the presentation of bhoga, food offered to the deity. Each step of the Shodashopachara Puja is imbued with deep symbolic meaning, intended to honor and celebrate God. Beyond these ritualistic offerings, Archana also extends to considering every living being as God, thereby making serving the needy with essentials such as food, clothing, and medicine a form of worship. In Hindu scriptures, King Prithu is celebrated for his grand yajnas and meticulous adherence to Vedic rituals, particularly distinguished by his reverent worship of Lord Vishnu and Mother Earth. Bandhana. Bandhana is praying and prostrating oneself to God. Prayer is a simple way to connect with the divine. There are two kinds of prayer, egocentric and genuine. In egocentric prayer, one petitions God for favors. Genuine prayer, on the other hand, comes from the heart. In genuine prayer, a devotee expresses gratitude for even the simplest things in life, such as clean water, shelter, sunlight, and laughter. There are many ways to physically bow to God and touch his feet. One is the Anjali Mudra, in which one joins the palms together and bows the head. Another way is known as Shastang Pranam, which is performed by completely lying down with the arms stretched outwards to God, towards God. Practicing bandhana helps diminish one's ego. In the Bhagavata, Akrura was ordered by the demon king Kamsa to bring Lord Krishna and Balaram from Vrindavan to Mathura. Upon seeing Krishna and Balaram, Akrura was overwhelmed with devotion and respect, and he expressed this by bowing down to them. Dasya. Dasya is loving God from the perspective of a devoted servant. This is characterized by selfless service and steadfast commitment to fulfilling God's will. It involves acting wholeheartedly to carry out God's orders, desires, intentions, and wishes, putting aside personal ambitions or desires. In the Ramayana, Hanuman exemplifies this form of devotion. He used every ability and gift bestowed upon him to serve Lord Ram, demonstrating not just physical acts of service, but also deep emotional and spiritual dedication. Sakya. Sakya is cherishing God through love and friendship. In practicing Sakya, one desires to remain in God's company, enjoy conversations with him, and understand him just as a true friend would. This form of devotion emphasizes a personal and informal relationship with the divine, combining reverence with affectionate familiarity. The Mahabharata depicts the close friendship that Lord Krishna and Arjuna share. Arjuna relies on Krishna not only as the divine guide, but also as a confidant and friend, seeking counsel and comfort. Their interactions, especially in the Bhagavad Gita, highlight how a relationship with the divine can be rooted in mutual trust, love, and understanding. Atmanivedana. Lastly, Atmanivedana is the complete surrender to God. It is offering oneself to God, relinquishing all personal control over outcomes, and placing absolute trust in God's will. This reflects the devotee's total acceptance of divine supremacy and an unwavering faith that everything is orchestrated by the divine. Vamana, the fifth avatar of Lord Vishnu, approached the demon king Bali and requested 3 paces of land. After Bali agreed, Vamana grew to an enormous size and covered the earth and the heavens with 2 steps. With nowhere left for Vamana to step, Bali offered his head for the 3rd step, honoring his promise and fully surrendering himself to God. Qualities of a devotee. A perfect bhakta should take specific actions and possess certain qualities that reflect deep devotion. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes to Arjuna all the qualities a bhakta should embody. They dedicate their mind to God, praise him, and have faith in him. They control their senses, remain calm in all situations, and are dedicated to helping all living beings in the world. Furthermore, they are free from hatred and are friendly and compassionate to everyone. They lack possessiveness and egotism. They are resolute, forgiving, and impartial. They practice yoga and exercise self-control. Ideal devotees remain emotionally unaffected regardless of their circumstances and do not cause harm to others. For instance, they do not distress anyone and are not distressed by anyone. They remain unchanged in the face of happiness, fear, anger, and anxiety. Furthermore, they are detached, pure, dispassionate, free from distress, and renounce selfish desires. They do not rejoice or envy, feel neither sorrow nor desire, and abandon both the auspicious and inauspicious. They treat friends and enemies equally, and are the same in honor and dishonor, hot and cold, pleasure and pain, as well as in praise and insult. They are satisfied and have no attachments. Lord Krishna says that devotees with these ideal qualities are very dear to him, and that the path of devotion is the greatest among all spiritual practices. There are many obstacles on the path of Bhakti Yoga. These will emerge and must be overcome in order to progress and succeed in the spiritual journey. Some major hurdles include bad company, idle gossip, pride, anger, envy, and delusion. Associating with those averse to spirituality leads to distractions in the form of negative emotions, doubts, and desires. The essence of practicing Bhakti Yoga lies in cultivating one's inherent goodness, becoming a better human being, and manifesting it in everyday life. At the root of this is empathy and compassion. One should treat others as one would want to be treated. This fosters a better understanding of bhakti and expands our devotional attitude. One should imbue all actions with an attitude of love, reverence, and devotion, staying connected with Shree Shree Thakur. Jai.
Jayaguru, thank you, brothers, for reading this article covering the 9 forms of devotion and the qualities of a good and ideal devotee. I just wanted to take a moment and see, does anyone have any questions about any topics in this article?
Jayaguru, this is Charlotte. In Archana, it says it's worshipping God of God through rituals. In Bandhana, it says Bandhana is praying and prosperity oneself to God. So what's the difference between Archana and Bandhana?
The difference between Archana and Bandhana? So one is like the different rituals, as mentioned, like the different like offerings of different different things, like offering bhoga to Thakura or flowers. Bandhana is the aspect of like doing pranam or bowing down.
Oh, okay.
So like it's very similar, but there's a slight distinction in between the two. But that's a great question.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. Does anyone else have any other questions? If not, let's go into our usual Q&A session. So Shreyasi, what does Bhakti Yoga mean?
Bhakti Yoga is a way of practicing a love for Thakura, and it soothes and glorifies Thakura, and it brings us closer to him through that connection. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru, yeah, I like that you mentioned it. This is one way that we can be closer to him, as this is the path of devotion. This kind of talks about how this is different than other forms of spirituality. So, how is Bhakti Yoga different than other yogas?
Jayaguru, I think the main way Bhakti Yoga is different from other forms of yoga is that it's yoga specifically where you do like acts of service for Thakura, where like you do things like prayer, puja, other things like that. And then other forms of yoga is more just like meditation and things like that. So I think that's the main difference between them.
Yeah, that's right. So other forms, they may require more deep philosophy or more stringent practices and disciplines, whereas Bhakti Yoga is something that we can do in these different ways. So yeah, that's right. Now we talked about the 9 forms of devotion. Praishi, can you name some of them that we talked about? Praishi?
Jayaguru, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So what are some of the 9 forms of devotion that we talked about in the reading?
Jayaguru, I don't know.
Okay. No worries. Timmy, do you know any of the 9 forms that we talked about in the reading? not Timmy. Sharanya. Sharanya, can you name any of the 9 forms of devotion from the article?
Jayaguru, one of them could be Kirtana.
Yeah, that's right. Kirtan is one of them. So there are 9 forms: Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Padasevana, Archana, Vandana, Dasya, Sakhya, Atmanivedana. So these are 9 different ways to express devotion, and some of us, we may resonate naturally with one or more of them, and all of these should be considered equal, and some people can follow multiple, some people can be more attuned to one of them, and essential to practicing all of this is having Sri Thakur's grace and blessings to do so. So out of these 9 forms, Gemma, which one do you think seems the most interesting to you?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, so with the 9 forms of devotion, which one stands out to you or sounds the most interesting to you?
To be honest, like the smarana, I think I connect with that one the most because I feel like, whenever I'm going through something difficult, or even just in the morning before I start my day, I read Varshapatra, and that's just like my way of always remembering Thakura and keeping him in mind.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's something that I also do. Like I, in the morning, try to remember Thakura and read Varshapatra before going out with my day. So that's one way to stay connected with him. Let's also hear from Jagrat. Which one of these sounds the most interesting to you, and why?
I think Savannah really it's the most interesting to me the most is that because this is actually a really important skill that you now need to learn later in your life. When you get a job, let's say that your manager says that, hey, you gotta do this. Let's say if you don't listen, you might not do it correctly. So practicing this skill that is very useful for the no, very
Yeah, that's great, Jagrat. That's nice. Let's also hear from Aishi. Which one of these stands out to you or sounds the most interesting? Aishi?
Oh, Jayaguru, I think the one that stands out the most is Smarana because you don't need to do it in a specific place. You can do it anywhere, at any time, and it's something you can always do, and we can always remember Thakura and think about him, and so I think that one is the one that stands out to me the most. Jayaguru.
I liked how you talked about how you can practice this anywhere, and that kind of segues to the next question I wanted to talk about, how we may practice any of these forms of devotion. Nathik, do you currently practice any of these forms in your day-to-day, or anything that you want to try in the future?
Jayaguru, I think in my day-to-day life, I definitely practice Kirtana and Smarana. I think in a way they're the most common and the easiest ones to do because you naturally do them without even thinking sometimes. And I think in the future I really want to get more involved in Archana, Jayaguru.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I think, those 2 first in the beginning, those are something that we do every day. At the end of our puja, we sing Jayaguru, and it's something for us to remember Thakura with Smarana. So yeah, that's great to hear. Let's also hear from Aryan. Does any of these stand out to you, and Do you practice any of these, and is there something that you would want to try in the future?
Jayaguru, I would say in my day-to-day, as others have mentioned, like, I think I'm more so practice like the first four. So especially, for example, like Smarna and Padasavana. With Smarna, like every day before I leave for classes or for work, I quickly say Jayaguru and I read my Bhajapatra. I just like remember Thakura through all the difficult moments. I think the one that stands out to me the most, or the one that's most interesting to me, is actually the last one, Atmani Vedana, because like I think to me it's like kind of the most vague. Like I feel like the other 9 forms, or the other 8 forms, are more like concrete actions that one can take. But Atmani Vedana is like more mental, and I feel like probably like the most difficult to do. I feel like it's like kind of the culmination of everything. And so I feel like that one sticks out to me the most. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru, yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. I also agree that Atmanivedana is probably something that it's definitely very mental. It's not concrete, and it's part of it is that, you know, it's like letting go and having that unwavering trust in Thakura. And that's something that I think the other ones will help us do this one. So that's great to hear. So there's different ways that we can practice devotion, and then we talked about the qualities of an ideal devotee doing all of this. So Yukta, what are some qualities of an ideal devotee mentioned here?
So some of the qualities of a devotee that's mentioned in the text are is being forgiving and thoughtful, having faith in Thakura, and not indulging in gratification.
Yeah, that's right. Those are all part of it. I think there's also a common theme to some of these characteristics and qualities mentioned. Bobby, do you see any common themes in the qualities of a devotee mentioned here?
Jayaguru, it talks a lot about how I guess like the perfect bhakta has a lot of self-control, and then along with that, you know, making sure that they're dedicated to helping everyone around them, remaining calm, and having compassion for everyone. And I think that kind of comes from also just the 9 forms that we talked about before, and how if we're able to do that, we'll be able to, you know, accomplish that goal of, you know, calming our senses, helping others, and having our faith in Thakura.
Jayaguru, that's really well said. I like the part that you said about self-control. A lot of these, like remaining unaffected by both sides of a situation, like if something is like hot or cold or auspicious or inauspicious and good or bad, remaining detached and having the control over a situation, and also being selfless is really part of it. So that's good to hear. Let's see, what else? Sanvi, what are some other qualities of a devotee that stand out to you, and what form of devotion do you like the best?
Jayaguru, some more qualities are how they renounce selfish desires, and they're detached from the material world, and they don't have sorrow or desire, and they're just satisfied with their lives and have like no attachments. And then my favorite form of worship, or like one that I practice a lot, is probably bandhana, because I pray to Thakura in the morning and evening every day, and I make it a practice that I do, and it just helps me because it strengthens my connection with God. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru, I'm glad to hear that. And as we wrap up today's session, does anyone else want to share what their favorite, if I didn't call them, what their favorite form of devotion is and what stands out to them?
Grandma, this is Shrija. The devotion I really liked was Kirtana, because we always do like Jayaguru Kirtan, which helps us do it all together, and sing songs as well. Jayaguru.
Yeah, that's great. I also love to sing songs too, and I think that's a wonderful way that we can sing the stories, the glories of Thakura. Like in the beginning of your white session, right? She sang a song that was praising Thakura in different ways. So with that, I hope you all learned a lot from this session about Bhakti Yoga, the forms of devotion. And so I think we can conclude here. And next up is Bhava Vinamaya by Sharanya. Jayaguru.
Jayaguru. Shree Shree Thakur Maharaj, my Smas, and young aspirants, I am so grateful for getting the Baba Vinama Seba today. I like the YA sessions. I take print out of the YA material and read before Sangha so that I can better understand the context of discussion. I try to join the YA sessions regularly. I am also trying to read Thakura's Jivani to know more about him. Every day before going to school, I go to Thakura's room, also before going to bed, to offer prayer and participate during the evening puja. This year, I am trying to be more successful in studies. In addition to this, I am also trying to sit the whole time in our monthly Sangha Puja. I pray to Thakura to be successful in this. Jayaguru.
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ପ୍ରାଣର ଠାକୁର ଭାଇ ଓ ମା ମାନେ ଆଜି ସଂଘ ପୂଜା ପାଳି ଓ ଭାବ ବିନିମୟ ସେବା ଅଛି। ଭାବ ବିନିମୟ ସେବାରେ ଭାବ ଟିକେ ଥିଲେ ବିନିମୟ କରାଯିବ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେତିକି ଭାବ ତ ଆସୁନି। ତା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ କିଛି କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ସେଟା ଠିକ ଭାବରେ କରିଲେ ସେ ଭାବ ଠିକ ଭାବେ ଆସିବ। ତା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା ଚାଲିଛି। ଗତ ବର୍ଷରୁ ଏ ବର୍ଷ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଯାହା କିଛି ହେଇଛି ବା କରିଛି ତାର ଟିକେ ସମୀକ୍ଷା କରିବି। ଠିକ ସମୟରେ ଗତ ବର୍ଷରୁ ଏ ବର୍ଷ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଠିକ ସମୟରେ ପୂଜା କରିପାରି ନାହିଁ। ସବୁବେଳେ ଲେଟ୍ ହେଇଛି। ଶୋଇବା ଉଠିବା ସମୟ ବି ଠିକ ରଖିପାରେ ନାହିଁ। ଶାସ୍ତ୍ର ପାଠ ଯାହା ବି ଆଗରୁ ହଉଥିଲା ସେଟା କମି ଯାଇଛି। ଏତେ ସବୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଯାହା ବି ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଇଛି ସେଥିରେ କିନ୍ତୁ ମନନ ରହିଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ କରିବି। ପୂଜା ଠିକ ସମୟରେ ନହେଲେ ବି ଆସିକି ବସିଛି, କରିଛି, ପଢିଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଠିକ ଭାବେ ହେଇପାରେ ନାହିଁ। ସେଇ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷ କେମିତି ଠିକ ଭାବରେ କରିପାରିବି ତା ପାଇଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି ସବୁଦିନ। ଏ ବର୍ଷ କିଛି କିଛି ହେଇପାରିଛି, ଆଉ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ ରଖିଛି ଯେ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ଯେମିତି କରିପାରିବି। ଆଜି ସକାଳେ ବି ସେଇ ବିଷୟରେ ପଢା ହେଲା, ପ୍ରବୃତ୍ତିରୁ ନିବୃତ୍ତି ପଥକୁ କେମିତି ଆମେ ଯାଇପାରିବା। ତା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ହିଁ ଗୋଟେ ମାତ୍ର ସମ୍ବଳ। କିନ୍ତୁ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରିଦେଲେ କି କହିଦେଲେ, ଆତ୍ମସମର୍ପଣ କରିଦେଲେ ହବନି। ନିଜ ଆଡୁ ନିଜର ଏଫର୍ଟଟା ଲଗେଇବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ଯେମିତି ରାମକୃଷ୍ଣ ପରମହଂସଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ବାଣୀ ଥିଲା, ଜୀବ ସଂସାରରେ ଘୁରୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ଯଦି ଖୁଣ୍ଟି ଧରିକି ଘୁରିବ ସେ ପଡିବ ନାହିଁ। ତ ଆମେ ସେଇଭଳି ବୁଲୁଛୁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସଂଘ ଠାକୁର ଆଉ ସଂଘକୁ ଆମେ ଯଦି ଧରିକି ରହିଥିବା ଆମେ ପଡିଯିବା ନାହିଁ, ପଡିବାର ଚାନ୍ସ ରହିବନି। ଝୁଣ୍ଟି ଯିବା କିନ୍ତୁ ପଡିଯିବା ନାହିଁ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି ଯେମିତି
जो जिनसटा भी पास्ट ईयर रे हेई पारे नाही ए वर्ष सेटा को जंती मो पुणी करि परिबी संघ सेवा जहाँ मिली ठाकुर कृपारू से संघ सेवा गुड़ाक अवहेला करिछि से सेवा गुड़ाक जमती ठीक भाव करि संघ सेवा गुड़िक प्रार्थना करुछि ए वर्ष मोर बेसी फोकस रहिबो शास्त्र पाठ कारण मो हिसाब रे गृहस्थ मानकर गोटे जिनस जोटा मूल साधु संग करने गोटे मूल सबुदिन जदि साधु संग करने इच्छा हुए ताहले गृहस्थ मानकर गोटे संबल होउछि शास्त्र पाठ छड़ा मते लागेनी साधु संग करी हबो सेतिपई ए वर्ष मोर विशेष फोकस रहिबो केमती मु ठीक भाबरे शास्त्र पाठ टी करि परिबी ठाकुरंको लीला पढ़िबा पई सब बेले मन रे आसे पढ़े किंतु समय ठीक समय रे ठीक बही रे ताकू जेमती मु पढ़ी पारिबी ता पई मध्य ठाकुरंग ही प्रार्थना करूची से कृपा कले ही सब ही पारिबो अनेक भल जिनस आज पढ़ाला नवदा भक्ति विषय रे से नवदा भक्तिर शेष पर्सनटा जो आत्मनिवेदन ता पई विश्वास भक्ति नहेले हो पारिबनी ता पई मध्य ठाकुर प्रार्थना करछि विश्वास भक्ति टीका कर दियंतु ताहले जाई कि आत्मसमर्पण भावटा आसी पारिबो आ आपन सेवा टिके मु करि पारिबो जय गुरु
जय गुरु जे रो आली भाव विनिमय सुजोग मिली मोर तंटीटा टिके थ्रोटटा टिके खराब अछि तो माने जल्दी कह के साथ देबी ठाकुर पाखु तो मैं छोट बल्टू आसीचु आ ठाकुर को घर मोर भी भल लगे सब बड़े मैं देखी आसचु ठाकुर को आमर प्रादेशिक भक्त सम्मिलनी समय ये टाइमिंग रे सब बड़े माइंड रे आसिकी माने एबे आसला एठी आसला पर हम सम्मिलनी जाई पारनी आउ टाइमिंग रे सब लगे कि हाँ माने सम्मिलनी गोटे छोट गोटे एक्साइटमेंट कि सम्मिलनी जीवु ठाकुर को अटेंड करबो सब कैंप रे रहिबो आउ जहाँ जहाँ हमरो सब सेवा मिलता है हमें सेटा जल्दी उठिके आम सब केमती सेटा करिबु से एक्साइटमेंटा सेटा सब माने भाबिला लगुच कि सेतबेले माने आम करि पारुथलु आ सेटा गोटे फ्लो रे हमर चलतिला एबे भाबिला लगुच रे जाई परिबुनी एटा प्रॉब्लम अछि सेटा माने माइंड रे एक्सक्यूजेस आस जाउच कि हाँ माने जाई न परिया पे एक्सक्यूजेस आस जाउच बट सेतबेले सेटा नथिला सेतबेले सेटा गोटे थिला कि हाँ माने हमकु जिबाकू सेटा ऑप्शन ही नथिला कि नहीं जिबार नाही से जिनसटा मु देखुची धीरे धीरे सेटा कमी जाउछ जोटा कि माने भलो नुहे आउ सेटा मु चेष्टा करछु कि नहीं माने से जिनसटा कि एक्सक्यूजेस आनिबा कि हाँ एटा अच्छी मु एटा अटेंड कर परबिनी कि ये सेटा मु चाहूँ कि ठाकुर कृपा सेटा जमती टिके बेटर हो जमती छोट बड़े आम जमती ठाकुर पाखु जावाक जो एक्साइटमेंटा जो ये रोला व्याकुलता सेटा जमती आहरी बढ़िबो ना कि कमिबो आम सब रोचे कि हाँ माने संसार ये भितर जंजाल भितर पशिकी अरे छुआर कम अच्छी एटा अच्छी ता भितर भी जदि करि पारुछे ताहले सेटा ही तो माने ठाकुर आम सेवा पालन कले ठाकुर कही माँ मान भी ठाकुर टिके सहज कर तथापि से जिनसटा माने हो नहीं ଏବେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପିଲାଙ୍କ ନିଗମାନନ୍ଦ ବୁକ୍ଟା ମୁଁ ଆରଥର ଆଣିକି ଆସିଥିଲୁ ଆମେ ଆଉ ମୋ ଝିଅକୁ ମୁଁ ପଢିକି ଶୁଣଉଥିଲି ତାପରେ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଥିଲି କି ମାନେ ଏଇ ସିଏ ବି ବହୁତ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ହେଇକି ଶୁଣୁଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କ ନିଗମାନନ୍ଦ ବହିଟା ତାପରେ ଛୋଟବେଳୁ ତାପରେ ମୋର ସବୁ ଫ୍ଲାସବ୍ୟାକ୍ ହେଇଗଲା କି ହଁ ମାନେ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଛୋଟବେଳଠୁ ଜୀବନୀ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପଢୁଥିଲୁ ଆଉ ସେଇ ବୁକ୍ ପଢିବାଟା ସେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ଇଏ ଥିଲା କି ନାଇଁ ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ସହିତ ଆମେ ସ୍ୱାଧ୍ୟାୟଟା କରୁଥିଲୁ ଆଉ ଏବେ ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ସ୍ୱାଧ୍ୟାୟଟା ମୋର ମାନେ କମି ଯାଇଛି ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷ ମାନେ ପ୍ରଣ କରିଛି କି ନାଇଁ ମୋର ସ୍ୱାଧ୍ୟାୟଟା ମୁଁ ଯାହାହେଲେ ବି ବେଟର ମାନେ କରିବି ଯଦି ଏଭ୍ରି ଡେ କରିପାରୁନି ତଥାପି ମୁଁ କରିବି ଯାହାହେଲେ ବି ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ପ୍ରଣ ନେଇଛି ଆଉ ଦିନଲିପି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ମୁଁ ଇଏ ଭରୁ ନଥିଲି ଏଇ ବର୍ଷରୁ ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରିଛି ଦିନଲିପି ଭରିଆ ଆଉ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପୂଜାର ଟାଇମିଂ ବି ମୋର ଠିକ ରହୁନି ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ଆଉ ମାନେ ଟିକେ ଲେଟ୍ ହେଇଯାଉଛି ପୂଜା ଟାଇମିଂଟା ଯୋଉଟା ସେଇଟା ବି ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଏଇଥରିକ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷ ମୁଁ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରଣ କରିଛି ସେଇଟା ବି ମୁଁ ଠିକ କରିବି ହଁ ଏତିକି କହିବି ଆଉ ଠାକୁର କୃପା କରନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଯେତିକି ଯାହା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ରହିଥିବି ଆଉ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ସେବାର ସୁଯୋଗ ଦଉଥିବେ ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା ଯେମିତି କରିପାରୁଥିବି ଜୟଗୁରୁ
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 ପ୍ରାଣତ ଠାକୁର ପ୍ରାଣ ଠାକୁର ଏବେ ଜୟଗୁରୁ ନାମ କୀର୍ତ୍ତନ ପରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ବିଶ୍ରାମ ଗୃହକୁ ବିଜୟ କରାଯାଇ ଭୋଗ ନିବେଦନ କରାଯିବ ଆମ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ଜଣାଉଛି ଏବଂ ସମସ୍ତ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ସମସ୍ତ ଭାଇ ମା ଓ ପିଲାମାନେ ପ୍ରସାଦ ସେବନ କରିବେ ଆଶ୍ରମରେ ଏବଂ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା 6:30 ବେଳେ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ପୂଜା ପାଇଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ଜଣାଉଛି ଜୟଗୁରୁ
ଜୟଗୁରୁ if I remember correctly Saraswati ନଥିଲା ବୋଧେ Y session ରେ ଭକ୍ତିମା are you still there do you remember I thought Saraswati absent
I think he was absent
Saran ने इनवाइट कर दो
अच्छा good please yeah
Thank you. On behalf of my brother Saraswati, I invite Shree Shree Thakur Maharaj, all vice mas and young aspirants to the next YA session to be held on February 8th. Jayaguru.
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ଆମର ନେକ୍ସଟ ପାଠଚକ୍ର ନେକ୍ସଟ ସଂଘ ପୂଜା ଫେବୃଆରୀ 8th ରେ ଧାର୍ଯ୍ୟ ହେଇଛି ସେଥିରେ ମୋର ପ୍ରୀତିମା ସାରସ୍ୱତର ପାଳି ଅଛି ଆଉ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ମହାରାଜ ଆଉ ସମସ୍ତ ଭକ୍ତ ମା ଓ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ଜଣାଉଛି ଏଥିରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ରହି ଆମକୁ ସେବାର ସୁଯୋଗ ଦେବେ ଜୟଗୁରୁ
ବାଣୀମା
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ଆଜି ମୋର ଶରଣ୍ୟ ଆଉ ନିହାର ଭାଇଙ୍କର ପାଳି ଥିଲା ଆଉ ଜାଣତରେ ଅଜାଣତରେ ଯାହା ବି ତ୍ରୁଟି ହେଇଥିବ ତେଣୁ ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ମହାରାଜ ଭାଇ ଓ ମୋ ମା ମାନଙ୍କଠୁ କ୍ଷମା ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା ଜଣାଉଛି ଜୟ
ଜୟଗୁରୁ
দাসের প্রার্থনা পূর্ণ কর দয়াময় দাসের প্রার্থনা পূর্ণ কর দয়াময় তব পদে মতি রতি সদা যেন রয় তব পদে মতি রতি সদা যেন রয় তব পদ হতে যেন দূরে নাই দায় তব পদ হতে যেন দূরে নাই যায় যখন যে ভাবে থাকি তব গুণ গায় যখন যে ভাবে থাকি তব গুণ গায় নিবারিতে নারী কভু কুমতি প্রবল নিবারিতে নারী কভু কুমতি প্রবল কৃপা কৃপা করে দাও হৃদে বল কৃপানাথ কৃপা করে দাও হৃদে বল পর নিন্দা পর চর্চা হতে রাখ দূরে পর নিন্দা পর চর্চা হতে রাখ দূরে তব গুণ গাথা যেন প্রাণে সদা স্ফুরে তব গুণ গাথা যেন প্রাণে সদা স্ফুরে অহংকার অভিমান কিছুতে না যায় অহংকার অভিমান কিছুতে না যায় করুণার দাস করে রাখ রঙ্গা পায় করুণার দাস করে রাখ রঙ্গা পায় বিষয়ে সহজে হেয় আসক্তি যে মন বিষয়ে সহজে হয় আসক্তি যে মন তেমেতি তোমাতে যেন লিপ্ত থাকে মন তেমেতি তোমাতে যেন লিপ্ত থাকে মন লোকমান্য নাই চায় কর দিনহীন লোকমান্য নাই চায় কর দিনহীন দীননাথ এস হৃদে পুরঙ্গ ইলা দীননাথ এস হৃদে ফুরাইলা মন দিন অসংখ্য আমর ত্রুটি করি সংশোধন অসংখ্য আমর ত্রুটি করি সংশোধন কৃতার্থ কর হে দাসে হি অকিঞ্চন দেব কৃতার্থ কর হে দাসে এহি অকিঞ্চন জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় 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 জয় গুরু জয় গুরু Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru 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 Shree Shree Thakur Maharaj ki Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru.
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ଭାଇମାନେ ମାଆମାନେ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଆନାଉନ୍ସମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି ଯେ ଆମର ନେକ୍ସଟ ୱିକ୍ରେ ସଂଘ ପୂଜା ନାହିଁ, ଯେହେତୁ ପ୍ରାଦେଶିକ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ ଅଛି, ତେଣୁ ଫେବୃଆରୀ 1 ସଂଘ ପୂଜା ନାହିଁ। ନେକ୍ସଟ ସଂଘ ପୂଜାଟା ଫେବୃଆରୀ 8ରେ ହେବ, ଆଉ ସେଟା ମହିଳା ପୂଜା, ଯେହେତୁ ମହିଳା ପୂଜାଟା ମିସ୍ କରିଯିବା, ଖାଲି ସେଟା ଆନାଉନ୍ସମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା, ବିଜୁ ଭାଇ ଇଫ୍ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଶୁଣିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ମତେ, ଏଥର ତମେ ଗୁରୁ ଗୀତାଟା ଠିକ ଶ୍ଲୋକ ପଢିଲ ସେଇଟା ମୋର ଚିନ୍ତା ଥିଲା, କାହିଁକିନା ଗତ ଥର ଯୋଉ ତୁମକୁ ଦିଆଯାଇଥିଲା ଗୁରୁ ଗୀତା ପଢିବା ପାଇଁ, ସେ ଶ୍ଲୋକ ପଢିଲା ବେଳେ ତୁ ଖାଲି ଅନୁସାର ଲଗେଇ ଚାଲ, ଯେମିତି ମନ୍ତ୍ର ପଢିଲା ଭଳିଆ। ଏଥର ଠିକ ପଢିଛ, ମାନେ ଶ୍ଲୋକ କଥା କହୁଛି। ଆଉ ହଉ, ଅନୁପ ଭାଇ କିଛି ଅଛି କହିବାର ନା ଆଟେଣ୍ଡାନ୍ସ ଯିବ? अनु भाई
भाई कि गोटे क्विक क्वेश्चन पचारे थिला से जो परिचय पत्र एप्लिकेशन जो फिल अप करा हला सेथरे जो मानकर कुटीर पाळी जोटा थिला ना सेटा हमर उते लास्ट टाइम डिस्कस करा हितला जे परिचय पत्र रे आडे जो बोली किंतु फील्ड कहीं एडिटेबल नथिला माने ये पई
नहीं सेटा को अनु भाई पठई साइड बोधे भावुची हमर एनुअल प्रणामी जो टोटल कलेक्शन रे अनु भाई कैन से दैट मतलब से हमर जेतु हम से ना कहला भाई
सेटा लास्ट ईयर ना एई वर्ष पई सेटा भाई पठई देथियो बोली कहउचंदी
मु भाबुची जे इथरे बोधे हम जो कलेक्शन कले डिसेंबर मासे रे
एटा भाई 2000
टोटल कलेक्शन डिसेंबर
हां हां हेलो जयगुरु भाई 2026 में पठाई छी
तो 26 में अच्छा 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 हो
तो सुप्रीत भाई
दैट आंसर्स द क्वेश्चन सुप्रीत
हां सेटा ताको छाड़ दियंते बे ब्लैंक दियंतु कीप इट एज इट इज थैंक यू 26 नेक्स्ट ईयर ताको देखबो हां 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 ताल नेक्स्ट ईयर सेटा जते ऑटो पॉपुलेट कर देबे गुड हां 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 सुविधा देख जय हो ब्रज भाई अटेंडेंस नबा ना आउ किछ अनाउंसमेंट अच्छे
हां नै मोर तरफ किछ नाही
आज्ञा ओके ठीक है तो हमें अटेंडेंस नहीं जुबा मो खाली कहया थिला कि